I am Dr. Jessie John, Assistant Professor, Department of Anatomy, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Today we are discussing clinical anatomy of the upper limb. Namaste, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया. First we will see the function of the nerves that present in our upper limb. The nerves entering the upper limb provides the following important function, and these are sensory innervation to the skin and deep structure such as the joints, and motor innervation to the muscles, and it will influences over the diameters of the blood vessels by the sympathetic vasomotor nerves and sympathetic secretomotor supply to the sweat glands. First, we will see the what type of the injury happened to the brachial plexus. So, injuries of the trunks, upper trunk lesions of the brachial plexus, and lower trunk lesions of the brachial plexus, and injuries of individual nerves means if there is injury to long thoracic nerve, axillary nerves, radial nerves, median nerves, and ulnar nerves. Upper trunk lesions of the brachial plexus, and it will happen by the traction or even tearing of C5 and C6 root, and causes are excessive displacement of the head to opposite side and depression of the shoulder on same side in infants during a difficult delivery, and in adults following a fall on or a blow to the shoulder. What type of the nerves involved? There are suprascapular nerve and nerves to subclavius, musculocutaneous nerve, and axillary nerve. We can see the causes here. There somebody is falling down and the delivery where is the upper trunk, the brachial plexus is injured or lesioned. Muscles and functional loss of lateral rotation of the arm due to paralysis of teres minor and infraspinatus muscles, and due to paralysis of supraspinatus and deltoid, so there is loss of abduction of the shoulder. And if there is paralysis of coracobrachialis and bicep brachii, so there will be the weakness of flexion of the shoulder. If there is paralysis of brachialis and biceps brachii, so there is loss of the flexion of the elbow also. And if there is paralysis of biceps brachii, so there is the weakness of supination of the forearm. So we can see here the injury to the muscles, and resultant their functional loss. Now we will see the manifestations of upper trunk injury, that we will say erupt palsy, loss of muscle function that is innervated by the C5 and C6 root, known as erupt palsy or Vater's tip. Manifestation: arm medially rotated and adducted, hangs by side, and forearm extended and pronated. Lower trunk lesions of the brachial plexus. So there are the lesions of fibers of C8 and mostly T1 root are torn, causes the excessive abduction of the arm that happened in birth injury, and if a person falling from a height holding an object to save himself, and compression of the lower trunk as happened in case of cervical rib, and malignant lower deep cervical lymph nodes. And what type of the nerves involved? There are the nerves, ulnar and median nerves involved in lower trunk lesions of brachial plexus. Lower trunk lesions of brachial plexus, we can say Klumpke palsy, and the muscles involves all the small muscles of the hand, introsi and lumbricals. The lumbricals are intrinsic muscles of the hand that flex the metacarpophalangeal joint and extend the interphalangeal joint. Manifestation of Klumpke palsy: hyperextension of the metacarpophalangeal joint by unopposed extensor digitorum, and flexion and interphalangeal joint by unopposed flexor digitorum superficialis, and profundus. This deformity known as clawed hand. And along the medial side of the forearm, there is the sensory loss. Long thoracic nerve arise from the root C5, C6, C7, and the causes are blows or pressure in the posterior triangle of the neck that happen in especially in radial mastectomy, and the serratus anterior muscle especially involved here, and the functional lost as abduction above 90-degree and protection, deformity, pinging of scapula, medial border and inferior angle of the scapula prominent. Now we will see the clinical anatomy of the axillary nerve, and axillary nerve lesion causes fracture of surgical neck of the humerus, inferior dislocation of the shoulder joint, and misplaced injection into deltoid. Deltoid and teres major muscles are involved, and manifestation loss of the abduction from 18 to 19 degree, shoulder weakness. At the deltoid atrophies, the rounded contour of shoulder is lost and becomes flattened compared to uninjured site. Sensory loss, injury of the upper lateral cutaneous nerve of the arm leads to loss of skin sensation over the lower half of deltoid muscle. We will see the clinical anatomy of the radial nerve. Radial nerve injury in axilla causes pressure of badly fitted crutch into armpit and falling asleep with arm over the back of the chair. Motor loss, there is a loss of extension of the elbow due to paralysis of triceps and anconeus, and loss of extension of the wrist and fingers due to paralysis of extensors of wrists and all muscle of posterior compartment, and supination can still be performed by biceps muscles. Deformity known as wrist drop, flexion of wrist as a result of action of unopposed flexion of wrist and fingers, sensory loss posterior surface of arm and forearm, dorsum of hand and dorsal surface of lateral three half fingers. Radial nerve injury in spiral groove, most commonly in distal part of the groove, beyond the origin of nerves to triceps and anconeus and cutaneous nerve, causes fracture of shaft of the humerus, prolonged pressure on the back of the arm as in unconscious patient by edge of operating table, prolonged application of tourniquet in thin lean person, loss of extension of the wrist, finger and thumb, there is a motor loss and it will called wrist drop, and sensory loss, dorsum of hand and dorsum of lateral three and half fingers. Median nerve injury to median nerve at elbow, cause supracondylar fracture of the humerus, motor loss. So there will be paralysis of pronators of forearm, paralysis of long fracture of wrist and fingers except median half of flexor digitorum profundus and flexor carpi ulnaris, and paralysis of the flexor pollicis longus, paralysis of thinner muscles. Deformity, there will be loss of pronation in forearm, wrist, there is a flexion of weak accompanied by adduction, fingers, no flexion of interphalangeal joint of index and middle finger, loss of flexion, abduction, apposition in thumb, ape hand, thumb literally rotated, adducted, and thinner eminence flattened. Sensory loss, lateral side of palm, palmar surface of lateral three and half fingers, and distal part of dorsal surface of the lateral three and half fingers. Injury to median nerve at wrist, most commonly injury of median nerve. The causes are due to penetrating injury or stab wound at the wrist. Motor loss will be muscle of thinner eminence, first two lumbricals. Deformity is absent. Sensory loss, same as in elbow loss lessons. Injury to median nerve in carpal tunnel. Carpal tunnel osseous fibrous space formed by the anterior concave surface of carpus and flexor retinaculum. It is a passage of long flexor tendon and median nerves. Causes there is inflammation of retinaculum, arthritis of carpal bones, inflammation of synovial sheath of flexor tendons. Clinically, the syndrome consists of a burning pain along the distribution of the median nerves to the lateral 3.5 fingers and weakness of the thinner muscles. No paresthesia occur over the thinner eminence because this area of skin is supplied by the palmar cutaneous branch of the median nerve, which passes superficially of the flexor retinaculum. So we can see here the carpal tunnel syndrome. Now we will see the injury of the ulnar nerve at the elbow. It most commonly injured at this side. The fracture of the medial epicondyle is the cause. Motor loss, flexor carpi ulnaris and medial half of flexor digitorum profundus, and small muscles of hand are paralyzed except thinner muscles and the first two lumbricals. Deformity, wasting of ulnar border of the forearm, loss of the flexion of terminal phalanges of little and ring finger, inability to abduct and adductor fingers, loss of adduction of the thumb. Claw hand, metacarpophalangeal joints of fourth and fifth finger are hyperextended and the interphalangeal joints are flexed. Flattening of hypothenor eminence, hollowing between metacarpals on dorsum of hand due to paralysis of dorsal interossei, sensory loss, anterior and posterior surface of medial half of hand and medial 1.5 fingers. Ulnar nerve injury at the wrist due to superficial position and causes is the penetrating wounds. Motor loss, small muscles of hand except those of thinner eminence and first two lumbricals. Deformity, claw hand more prominent. Sensory loss on the medial side of palm and palmar and dorsal surface of 1.5 fingers and sensation on posterior medial surface of hand is intact. We can see here the clawing deformity of the hand, and we can see here also in this picture. Now the assessment question, you have to give answer these questions. These are explain injuries of radial nerve, and next question is explain injuries of ulnar nerve, and we have explained very well here. Thank you.